Well, blessed Thursday to you as we come with your daily encouragement. And we're in Proverbs 2, and we're giving it a Christian interpretation because Jesus Christ gives insight. And it says in the New Testament that Jesus was either the Son of wisdom or wisdom personified, an understanding of how we are to live. Now, King Solomon in chapter 8 and 9 of this Proverbs will go into a full description of Lady Wisdom and the loose or smooth women. Now, I talked about the man of crookedness yesterday. It kind of writes it in inclusive language in our version, and I want to make sure that you understand the parallel. He's not picking on women. He's just saying that there will be crooked men, and there will be loose, in this translation, or smooth women who will lead the person astray. And there is an assumption here, my friends, that it is only men reading this, so that's why it is highlighting this type of enticement from a woman. I know a man can entice a woman too, but this is the balance that King Solomon's working with in this passage. And so we read today in verse 16, "You will be saved from the loose woman." Now, in other translations, it also has the word strange woman. "From the adulteress with her smooth words." Now, let's take it for what it's saying there. The adulteress. Because in the what we would call the sixth commandment, the commandment against adultery, we are told to live a chaste life within a marital relationship. And that is the only option out there, so that way, if we are enticed by someone who is causing us to break a commandment, we are to realize that they are leading us off the wrong path. But they're leading us off not by a walking path, they're leading us off by enticement, words, loose words. And so you will be saved from the loose woman, from the adulteress and her smooth words. What does she do? She forsakes the partner of her youth and forgets her sacred covenant. Now, the prophets will apply this to Israel herself. Israel will be the one who has committed adultery with other gods and goddesses. And this is where it moves beyond the male-female thing. It's basically just saying you're not keeping a covenant relationship with God. And as in regards to wisdom, you might hear that there is better wisdom other places besides Jesus Christ, and those are enticing us with smooth words. And the Bible is very clear about that. It's not just dalliancing in the wrong place. It is basically just saying, you're committing adultery. You're committing against the covenant that you have made. So it's a really deep thing that is being talked about here. She is the one who forsakes her partner of her youth and forgets her sacred covenant. And of course, many marriages take place as a covenant in front of a congregation and in front of God. For her way, or her house in some translations, leads down to death, and her paths to the shades. Those who go to her never come back, nor do they regain the paths of life. You see, what we're talking about here is going to things that enhance life, not the things that lead to death. And that is the way of wisdom. That is the way of Jesus Christ. To love your neighbor as Jesus loves us, who is willing to die for what is right, not necessarily what the outcome would be. Now, we're going to talk about practical outcomes tomorrow in this last part of Proverbs 2. But see the progression that we are moving to. We have moved from trusting God like a parent. God said it, therefore I'm going to follow that commandment, to here's why, because this is the way of wisdom. And if you gain understanding, you'll be able to discern now between what is good and what is bad. Now, yes, that was the result of reading the knowledge of the tree of good and evil, rather than living in that more blissful ignorance of a child-parent relationship. But as we move forward, we're told that there will be crooked men, not righteous ones, who will lead us off the path, and loose women who will entice us off the path. And so from those imbalances, this proverb is telling us to trust in the words that come from God's mouth, as we had earlier on in chapter 2. And that word is Jesus Christ, the one who died and rose again, the one who we are called to imitate as the true wisdom, understanding, and path of God. I trust that these will be insights for you to take Jesus in to your heart, as it says to welcome wisdom, to welcome these words into our hearts, our understanding. And they will lead us along right pathways. God bless you today. We trust that these continue to be words of encouragement. Take care. God bless. We'll see you tomorrow.